Hello and welcome to the C-Suite Hotseat. My name is Saf Malik, reporter at Capacity Media. This is the brand new monthly podcast from the Capacity editorial team, featuring exclusive interviews with C-Suite executives from across the wider telecoms tech and ICT landscape. Join us as we talk all things technology, infrastructure, finance and strategy. For our first episode, I'm delighted to be joined by Ana Nakashidze, CEO of AzerTelecom. Ana, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Ana, you've been with AzerTelecom for over 4 years now and became CEO of the company in June 2020. Talk us through your time at the company and the transition to becoming CEO in the midst of the pandemic.
So I've joined AzerTelecom over 4.5 years ago. But before, I would like to introduce the company. AzerTelecom is a leading telecom services provider in Azerbaijan. It's one of 3 operators that is on a wholesale market in country and licensed to do so. It connects Azerbaijan to the world and provides services such as wholesale internet, data services, international gateway services. So it's a full-scale wholesale services provider in Azerbaijan. And I've joined the company in 2018. And I've been appointed as CEO in 2020. Since that time, we've seen a lot of challenges with the business, evolving scale, evolving types of the services that were required on the market. We've seen pandemics, and we've also gone through several rounds of organizational transformation and the business streamlining. So yes, it has been a very challenging time, but at the same time, it has been a very interesting and engaging task and the journey. And I'm glad to see that we've come out after pandemics and the regional changes and the shifts at a stronger place, better equipped to serve the country and the region.
And what is the landscape of the telecoms market like in Azerbaijan?
Well, Azerbaijan is quickly developing, has a quickly developing and evolving telecoms market. It is developing in the mobile. When you look at the retail market, obviously there is a mobile sector, strong mobile sector, and a fixed line fiber optic deployment going, throughout the country. And also in terms of the telecom sector, we are not far from where the whole world is in terms of providing network as a service, security services. So all the new services that that market is hungry for at this moment.
And Ana, in 2018, AzerTelecom implemented the Digital Silkway project to develop a modern transit fiber optic infrastructure network connecting Europe to Central and South Asian markets through Georgia and Azerbaijan. Mm-hmm. Where did the name come from and how is that project progressing?
Well, AzerTelecom is a part of the Nexo holding, the holding that implements many interesting and fascinating projects. And we can say proudly that Digital Silkway is one of those projects that would be key for the regional development. So it is not only Azerbaijan, but also would have a greater impact. I believe this is in a historic DNA of the region, and to be on the crossroads of connectivity and to be on the crossroads of the cultural exchange. And, the digital era is not far from where it all started. And we believe we have a clear role and fascinating project that would connect Central Asia, Southeast Asia with Europe with the shortest route and stable route.
Thanks for that, Ana. I know you can't go into much detail for that. But as you know, we're now in March, and this is the month of International Women's Day, which is on March the 8th. Ahead of that day, I wanted to get your thoughts on how progressive you thought the telco industry was on female leadership.
Well, as a female leader of telco, of company. I hope to see more female leaders in telco business. I've seen a lot of progress, back in the time when I was starting, the presence of the females in telcos at all levels, whether it would be a specialist engineering position or the executive position, was very rare. Now I see more and more women participating. Though the further we go in careers, I think less women we see in hierarchies, like in more managerial or executive positions. And I would definitely love to see change in that. I see a lot of momentum and I see a lot of commitment to the goals. And we as AzerTelecom and Nexol are committed to that. And I'm proud to say that we do and contribute a lot to this change in culture globally. Probably not only within the scales of the country, but in terms of the global experiences of how women are participating in the STEM careers and how they are advancing in careers.
Do you feel like there are challenges specific to female executives within the telecoms industry? If so, what are these challenges?
Well, definitely the challenges are there. The challenges are there in terms of perceptions. There are barriers that female executives have to overcome to be heard, because there is unconscious bias in the industry, is in a technology for female participation. And in terms of the challenges that we have as females, is that first of all, we have to lead by example. And I believe in this, that if you lead by example, then you create a pathway for the next females that could come after you. So the challenge is to go through and advance in career, and at the same time to create a path on enable kind of the next generations of females. But at the same time, while being there and understanding the complexity of the issue, to try to create systems or balances or cross checks and balances in such a way that would ensure not only more female, but a fair representation of the female engineers or the females in STEM careers.
You mentioned STEM professions in your last answer. I wanted to know, why do you think more women are choosing STEM professions, and how can we get more women into those professions?
Well, I'm committed to encourage more girls to participate in STEM careers. I try to speak to the girls and aspiring students who are thinking of deploying into to go through that career path. But in terms of why is it important for females, or why they are participating, I think there has been a lot of discouragement of female participation before, and even from very childhood, like it's from the kindergarten level at the school age, or at the university. There was a study that was conducted in Ukraine, I believe, where they've questioned school age or kindergarten age pupils to draw the professions, and certain professions were attributed to male. So there is a unconscious bias there in our upbringing that brings that understanding that some professions or the STEM is for male only. And I think once we remove that unconscious bias and limitations or the discouragement from the education upbringing, so it's not only institutional, but it's also family-based upbringing, right? So if you remove that restrictions, that I think it naturally happens that women want to participate in STEM careers as well. likewise they participate in other careers. So it's not that more women are kind of realizing that, STEM is something to go for. Yes, it is there, but also what I want to say that it's very natural. It's not that it's something that has to be pushed for or pressured. But I believe that if you remove unnecessary restrictions, it happens naturally. And the better representation and balance we have, like it's given, right? There have been so many studies that have concluded that diversity in the workplace and in education creates a better outcomes, whether it would be in education or at work in companies. That brings better results to the company. So again, this is natural. Remove the barriers and the female participation will increase. The less the barriers will be in future, more participation we will see there, and it's natural.
Ana, we really appreciate your time today on the C-Suite Hotseat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I thank you for this opportunity, especially speaking ahead of International Women's Day. I want to congratulate all women with this day, and especially women in STEM and engineering careers. I would love to see more women in our careers and believe it will be so. So once again, happy International Women's Day, and thank you.
Once again, thanks a lot, Ana. Really appreciate your time today. Join us next time where we'll be speaking to Ericsson's Catherine Ainley, CEO of Ericsson UK and Ireland, and Blessing Makumbe, Vice President and Head of Digital Services for Ericsson UK and Ireland.